Well, this anime sure has gotten weirder and weirder with each passing episode, and the whole weirdness has thankfully various layers to it. We have the overall mystery of this anime, and this mystery is explored by characters who have various levels of knowledge of the mystery, and of course the mystery affects the main characters themselves on very personal levels. So in episode 4 of Chaos Child, we see Takeru, Ono, and Ito go inside this building as they believe that the person behind the Sumo stickers is in there. Did I miss something in the previous episode? How did Takeru find out that the culprit was probably in that building? How? He mentioned something about the police in this episode, so did he hack their files? I have no idea, people, it's not explained. So Takeru and Ko venture into the basement of the building, and they end up in the autopsy room. Then all these zombies appear, and they begin to approach the room. Now, this is where the first vision that Takeru had in this anime in episode 2 seems more like a vision in Takeru's reality, rather than just a fantasy created by this anime's producers for atmospheric effect. Takeru really does seem to have the ability to have visions, as the zombies that approach the room are not actually zombies, and they did not eat Itao whilst he and Takeru and Ono were hiding in the autopsy cells. And yes, Ito is a really boring and pointless character. There is no reason for him to be in this anime from what I've seen so far. Even if he did actually die in this episode, I really wouldn't give a damn. So anyway, the zombies are actually patients being escorted by this girl, and they go into another door which is in the autopsy room. Now this is where things get really suspicious, as the door that the patients and the girl went into was seemingly closed, but miraculously it was not shut properly because of some cloth getting in the way of it closing. But I don't think that was a miracle, people. I think one of the three characters has psychic powers that can move objects without them knowing. Perhaps they're moving objects subconsciously to give themselves an advantage. So then Takeru continues to have visions as he and the others go down this even darker corridor, and I think it was the corridor itself that was setting off Takeru's further visions, as he was only just then remembering both himself and Ono inside the corridor previously, and himself seeing a girl going through experiments and the girl wanted help. Then Takeru has a vision of Ito seemingly turning into a cannibal and seemingly killing Ono. Why does this happen? Goodness knows. Is Ito actually a cannibal? But anyway, Kunasato suddenly appears and calms Takeru down. When his visions stop, they all venture past these jail cells which seem to contain people, and the four then reach a computer room. So Kunasato somehow knows the password to all the computers in that room, and she looks at all the research that is on there. We find out that they are actually in a facility that looks after patients who have been mentally harmed by experiments carried out on them in the past, and that some patients had survived the experiments unharmed. Were they the ones who committed the strange suicides in previous episodes? Anyway, we find out that the origin of the sumo sticker is actually a Rorschach test image, of which Takeru sees and then gets a severe headache. So was he a patient before in that facility? Now I should say that this scene was intriguing, but it was kind of ruined by how Kunasato would say something expositional and then Takeru would just repeat what Kunasato said, but in a one-word question form. I understand why this happened, as Takeru is lost unlike Kunasato, but wow, that whole question thing did get annoying. So this episode ends with Kunasato randomly kidnapping the girl that we saw earlier, and they all escape into a van that was waiting outside. Man, I hope Kunasato becomes one of the main cast members now, as she seems to have all the information, unlike Takeru and Ko, who are understandably lost. So yeah, whilst this episode was quite straightforward and some things did not really make sense, it was dark and weird enough to keep me interested in the whole mystery still, and I do appreciate that we get nuggets of info about the mystery with each passing episode, as opposed to us getting everything in one go. The main characters are still painfully one-dimensional, but perhaps the approach of this anime all along was to put all emphasis on the mystery and not the characters. Now let's see if Kunasato will play a stronger role in Takeru's investigation, or if Kunasato will separate from Takeru, leaving him to continue with his investigation on his own.